Let's go over how to become compliant with the new final rule for digital accessibility under Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And the first slide of my presentation reads ADA Title II Compliance, Digital Accessibility. And at the bottom of my slides is accessible.org. So what happened? Well, the Department of Justice, or DOJ, published a digital accessibility rule for Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And who has to be compliant? Well, on the slide, I have a non-exhaustive list of various public entities that I'm going to read through. So there are government offices, election offices, courts, schools, colleges, universities, police and fire departments, EMS, hospitals, healthcare clinics, transit agencies, parks, libraries, and the list of public entities goes on. What needs to be done? Well, we need to make our digital assets and digital content WCAG 2.1 AA conformant. And when I say digital assets and digital content, this includes websites, web content, including social media content, web applications, mobile apps, and documents. So what is WCAG? Well, this is the acronym for the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, and these are technical standards for web accessibility. And of course, our focus is on version 2.1 Conformance Level AA, which has 50 success criteria. And when I say success criteria, just think of things to do or things to account for accessibility. All right, so when is the deadline for compliance? Well, for public entities of a population of 50,000 or more, the deadline is April 24th, 2026. And for public entities of a population of 50,000 or less, or special district governments, the deadline is April 24th, 2027. Are there any exceptions for the content? Yes, there are 5 exceptions listed, and they are archived web content, and there are 4 points that are necessary to meet this exception. Pre-existing electronic documents, there are 2 points necessary to meet this exception. Independent third-party content, individual password protected documents, and there are 3 points necessary to meet this exception, and then pre-existing social media posts. And I will create and post a separate video specifically for the exceptions, and I will link to that video in the description. So what should you do? Well, I would first take inventory of your digital assets. What do we need to account for? And then I would begin training your digital team. So anybody that's working on creating content or uploading content or editing code, I would begin training your team on WCAG 2.1 AA. And then I would also create a compliance project plan with a timeline. And so in this initial start to compliance, you really just want to get organized and start to learn about accessibility and really what you will need to become compliant. All right, so 3 bullet points that you should know before getting started. 1, some parts of accessibility are beginner friendly and other parts of accessibility are technically complex. Also, website accessibility scans are available for free, so you don't need to pay for them. And then also know that accessibility is mostly a manual exercise. So the work involved in making web content and digital content accessible is mostly manual work. All right, so 3 resources that I have on my final slide are a WCAG 2.1 AA checklist, and I have a video checklist that I will also include in the description. And then also know about my WCAG training course, WCAG, and this is available at WCAGcourse.com. This training specifically goes over all of the success criteria in WCAG 2.1 AA. It explains the success criteria in plain English. There are also code examples. This will really help your digital team in learning what is necessary to become WCAG 2.1 AA conformant. And then also I offer website accessibility services and then also digital accessibility services through accessible.org. So I will include links to all of these resources in the description.